Gamers. I grew up around a few gamers. My friends, a lot of gamers. But unfortunately, deep down, I kind of looked down on them. I was judgmental because it seemed like they were kind of basement-dwelling, maladjusted young men who needed to go outside more. And some of that is true. But there is so much more to gaming and gamers than I thought. First of all, there's a lot of psychology behind gaming. Some of it's kind of devious, actually, the way it will prey on the human mind. But it's fascinating because obviously there are games that definitely play up the side of largely men that love to conquer, love to battle things out and conquer and save the princess. Those are lovely. Then there's also the side of the average human who has tasks and a list and they want to get it all done and get rewards for it. And then there's a darker side with the casino and lottery-like psychology in a lot of games today. I didn't think anything of any of this. I thought games were largely about pew-pew and that's about it. Games weren't completely foreign to me. I loved, Donkey Kong Country from the SNES, and also Knights of the Round Table from that same console. I liked, from the PlayStation, I loved Abe's Odyssey.
Hello. Follow me. Okay.
And Spyro. But one of my favorite games, of course, was Ocarina of Time from N64. So I loved games, a variety of games that had different types of gaming elements to them, like whether you shot things or whether you did puzzles. I liked all kinds of stuff, but they're pretty classic games. I never associated myself as a gamer because I could go months, years even, without playing a game. When I felt like playing a game, I probably would binge it, but gaming wasn't a serious hobby for me. Whereas for a lot of, especially young men, it is their only hobby. It is something that they do every single day. And I am not saying it's a bad hobby to have. It just shouldn't be your only hobby. How I went from being a bigoted person about gamers to someone who actually identifies as one a bit now is because I married one. I hitched my cart to a gaming horse, and my life has changed ever since. I originally didn't even want to date one, so it's surprising that not only was I willing to date one, but I aligned the rest of my life with one. My husband was very smart and strategic. He showed me very specific games initially to try to get me interested. One of the first ones that he really focused on was the Turing Test, because he knows how much I like puzzles. That is a brilliant game. You play a protagonist who is going through these trials, and there's an overhead AI voice guiding her and talking to her about morality and the actual Turing test, which is a historical concept. Next, he had me play Left 4 Dead, which I was surprised to love. We still play that game when we've got just half an hour before we do something. We'll just play a round of Left 4 Dead. Because, it was smart of him, because it's not an endless barrage of, campaigns that you could do. It's just a 30-40 minute gameplay of shooting up some zombies. And the cool thing is, it was a very innovative game for its time. The AI is very intelligent. Things change. You don't play the same game every time you play. So it was very creative, and I liked that about it. Next, he had me play the Borderlands games, 1 and 2. 2 becoming one of my favorite games of all time, and we have played it over and over again. Those games are excellent stories. They're full of excellent humor, and the gameplay is so fun. Shooting, I never thought it would be so fun in a game, but it really was. And the best thing about it is the characters are excellent. Handsome Jack is one of the best villains ever written. He is dynamic, he's funny, he's handsome, and he's got a deeper story than you think.
Mr. Tassiter? Mr. Tassiter, are you there?
Mr. Tassiter's been replaced, sweet cheeks. Starting today, you're working for me.
Who is... John, is that you?
Call me Jack, honey. Handsome Jack.
Next, we played Gears of War, and I was very surprised to like that. I had watched someone play it once, and it just didn't look interesting, the way you'd have to hide behind coverage and stuff. But I loved that game. We loved it so much that that year for his birthday, I made him a Gears of War cake. Then one day changed it all. One day he was playing Halo Infinite, which was a single player game at the time. I think they changed it after. I was watching him play. I was captivated by how beautiful it was. The Foley work was excellent, as they were for many of the games. The gameplay was really seamless, and I was surprised to hear a story developing. And so I said to him, wait, I thought Halo was just space pew pew. There's a story? Quite dramatically. He paused the game, looked over at me, and said,
Halo has one of the best storylines in any game. It has a very rich and deep story. I cannot believe you just said that.
I explained that I had only ever seen my brother play the game on multiplayer, so I didn't know anything about it. As soon as he realized that, he turned off Halo Infinite, said, we are playing through the whole Halo series. And that's what we did, starting that night. And I enjoyed every minute of it. I realized that one man's nobility, responsibility, and masculine power was enough to carry this whole franchise. But not only that, it was enough to change a generation of young men and more. Master Chief always does the right thing, the selfless thing, and he is feared and admired everywhere he goes. Gaming has a lot more art to it than I gave it credit. It's not just artistic, the way that they design things, the actual artwork within the game, but also the storylines and the characters that you get to play and the gameplay elements, like how they are innovative with so many games that you can pinpoint in gaming history where things change because someone thought of a new idea on how to play. That's brilliant. That's wonderful, and I actually love learning about that. So now I play many different games. There's not that many that I would just refuse to try. Horror games, actually, have become some of my favorite games, not just to watch, but to actually play. Medium is in my top 5 probably games that I love. I've played it over and over. I like the horror genre because it is a very unique experience. Often it is very story-based, and therefore it can almost feel like a walking simulator sometimes. However, it is a singular experience in the way you feel horror. In movies, you feel it, you can hide behind your hands, the story continues, and you can continue watching or turn it off. But the only way to know what's going on, the only way to get through everything, is to actually experience it and progress the story yourself. It is a very different experience, and sometimes too much. For instance, I think the absolute best horror game I've ever watched someone play, I watched my husband play this, is Visage. I'll do a whole video on it if you're interested. It not only has like an 80s aesthetic that makes it very nostalgic, especially for those of us who are from the 1900s, but it also plays up on natural human fears and emotions like regret and shame. But the actual horror elements within it are some of the most terrifying that I've ever watched anyone play. And I don't know if I will ever play it. Perhaps if I get 50,000 subscribers or something, I will play that game, but my gosh, I will be terrified the whole time. Another good one like it is Soma. That one's brilliant. Games are better than I gave them credit because they can make you think, they can make you believe, they can make you feel. They are more than just expressing aggression. They're more than just jiggly mechanics. They are a very unique form of art that has the potential for greatness. They're not inherently good and they're not inherently bad, but they are far better than I thought they were. So I'm sorry, gamers. I thought quite ill of you and you didn't entirely deserve it. I still think you need to go outside and chop down a tree, you need the touch of a good woman, and you need to go and express your creativity rather than just play everyone else's. But you're a lot deeper than I thought. But what do I know? I'm probably just overthinking it.
What the hell? Is that a psycho?
She's the most beautiful woman I've ever seen. Tell her she's as gorgeous as 1,000 sunsets. Tell her you need her help. Tell her to rescue you and care for you. And whatever you do, do not scream the word poop at the top of your lungs. I'm the conductor of the poop train!